This
Then go
conference will
back
now be recorded.
to online. Everyone's breaking up.
Can you hear us? We good?
I can hear you, but you
Yeah,
sound like robots.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Hopefully we'll maybe even get a few other people that will log in. I appreciate doing this. There's a few things that we wanted to talk about that affect what's going on, and we figured it was probably best for us to meet. So this is our April 2020 meeting. Hold on a second here. There we go. So we're going to cover just the intro treasurer's report. We'll do a couple quick updates. Then we're going to talk about elections. We're going to talk about some school spirit stuff. And then at the end of it, we'll talk about staff appreciation. And if there is any staff on there, if they want to avoid that conversation to kind of keep the surprise or whatever, you can log off at that point in time. And we'll also stop the recording at that time so that that's not shown. So let's go ahead. Treasurer's report. Melissa, are you there? Do you want to kind of go through this?
Yes, I am. So our starting balance was just over $13,000 at $13,252.83. Our ending balance is at $12,997.76. You can see the breakdown of the income and the expenses this month. Not too much going on, obviously. Some of our income we had from Amazon Smile. We had
it was Culver's actually. My bad.
I would say that's all right. Culver's we had $471.10, and we did have another $30 kind of random donation from that Network for Good just at the end of last month that kind of came in. Some of our expenses we spent $140 in gift cards for our Petty's Got Talent winners. $368 we purchased some Antioch pizza gift shops for some families that are in need to support them during this time. We had one teacher grant, and then about $160 we bought gift cards for the staff members that participated and helped out at Scoopy Night, along with for gift cards for the Battle of the Books winners as well were in there. So not anything too exciting, but really exciting that we got that Scoopy Night in before all this happened. So
yeah, excellent.
A good amount.
Or Melissa, sorry.
It's all right.
All right. So obviously with the things that have been going on, there's been some cancellations. Obviously the music concerts were canceled, so those raffles that were in conjunction with those are canceled. We made the decision last month to cancel the Action Territory night. That was when school was canceled through the 8th or through today. And we even thought that it was probably just prudent just to cancel it at that point in time. We can always look at rescheduling that maybe in the summer or something. And then we also made the decision to cancel our Spring Spirit store. Just given everything that people are going through, we didn't think it was wise to be holding a fundraiser at that point in time for like spirit wear. So we decided to cancel that. We can always bring that back up at another time or start it earlier in the summer if we want to have more spirit, wear. So that stuff was canceled. Scoopy Night though, as Melissa had said, is we earned, $471.10. That was down almost exactly $50 from our fall number. And our fall number was the highest we ever had, and according to Culver's was the highest ever. It felt a little slow to me that night, but I don't know if it's because they had their stuff together a little bit more and had more workers and we had more volunteers. I'm not sure if that was the case, but we definitely were not overcrowded as it was there. But also Scoopy Night was kind of in the gist of the beginning of all of this stuff with COVID-19 and everything else. So the timing on that also could have played a factor on it. So it's tough to say where it went from, but I still think it was a great night and consider it a success. And, it's tough to say what could have caused that $50 dip, who knows. So, it's also interesting that our last check was and 10 cents. You know what I mean? So sometimes I wonder what their formula is for figuring that out.
That's so funny.
But that could just be a complete coincidence. I don't know. But either way, it was a great night. And thank you to all our volunteers that helped out there. Everybody that volunteered, we're also going to get extra bits into our the Spirit of the Bobcat raffle that we do out there. So speaking of which, we're just going to jump right into it. And our winner for the Spirit of the Bobcat this month is Lisa Fisher for all that she's been doing for the Petty community out there. Second place, there's quite a few people out there that got involved with the Petty's Got Talent thing that we had going out there. So all of their second and third grade teachers, including Miss Shibley, who wasn't involved with the Petty's Got Talent thing, but also posted on our page about that little song for the Petty Strong thing and e-learning. So that was really great. And then third place, also very much something positive. Angelina and Joanna, who've continued to do the announcements every day, that also shows that that's an important thing that keeps the spirit going for these times. So congratulations, everyone. Lisa, I don't think you want to go back to the school to try to get the trophy. So we'll just call it a virtual one. Maybe I have a picture somewhere of it. I'm sure I can send it to you.
You forgot somebody, though. Ace.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Angelina's bird.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, why do I have to thank Ace Hardware? What?
No. I love your bird.
Yeah, thank you. I know I'm trying to get him to perform on camera, but he does not do it when you want him to. So I got to be sneaky about filming him. He loves watching The Voice and singing along to it. It sounds so beautiful. So I'm going to get some footage of that and eventually be able to share it with everybody. But yeah, thank you.
That is very cool.
Awesome. Well, everyone, keep it up. I think that's an important thing in this time, that we try to keep things positive and try to keep, spirit type activities and things like that up. And we can talk a little bit more about that in a later section here as we move on. So deep dive topics, elections are coming up. So elections are currently scheduled to be held on May 13th. That's our May meeting. All positions are up for election. We need president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. There's no re-election for the president, treasurer, and one of our VPs currently as our bylaws stand right now. The nomination form has been live since February. It's open to anyone that's part of the Petty community in the next school year. So it's not just current people only that can vote for this. This is anybody that can run that's going to be here next year. Right now, we had it set that you must be present to be included on the ballot, so you had to be at the meeting. I put a question mark on that one because I don't know if we're going to have a meeting or not. We need to be prepared for that. So there's a couple scenarios. One, the meeting happens live as planned. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Everything goes back to normal and we go. Scenario two is that we need to do another online meeting, and that we can do it. I have another platform that's similar to this that we can leverage to have a meeting. We can have I think up to 500 people, which I'm sure we would totally fill up.
Yes.
But there are mechanisms in there to do voting live, where I can do a poll or a survey and put people's names out there and have people vote. So we could do that. You have to go to the meeting, you have to, vote at the online meeting. That's an option. Scenario three is to do an online vote. We set up basically a Google form, and we say, place your votes during the specified period from this date to this date. The thing with that is, I think if we're going to do something like that, while normally with a vote, I don't want to have people's email information and have identifiable information, but at the same time, I think we might need to do something like that or to record that so that people aren't stuffing the ballot box. You know what I mean? Voting more than once.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Repeat votes or things like that. I don't know if that's really to be worried about, but if we're going to do that, I would suggest that we do that to make sure things are kept on the up and up for that. Because I don't want to hear anyone cry foul, like, oh, well, they just voted 5 times for themselves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the 3 scenarios that I see. Then there's a contingency plan. So I said that we've had our nomination form live since February. We have 0 nominations. No one is running for a position next year. Obviously, I'm sure that's probably the last thing on people's minds. Yeah. At our last meeting, and if Jackie is on the call, I think she was actually the one that brought this up. She said, well, does it need to be this way? Does it need to be like, can't somebody just can't people just stick around or whatnot? And I explained that the way that the bylaws are written, this is the way that it is. But there also is nothing that says we couldn't rewrite the bylaws. And by that, I mean we could put in something in the bylaws if the group wanted to, that due to extenuating circumstances, there can be exceptions or extensions for positions or things like that, that are options out there. So that's something we can consider. So with that, this is all the information I have on elections. I just kind of want to open it to the floor to get people's input and thoughts on that.
So my thought last time, and I'm here again, was maybe do like 2-year cycles and only half of you leave every, other year. So it's not everyone leaving at the same time, just for the future. I mean, you guys are awesome. I'm sure all 4 of you will be super helpful and, whoever's going to be there. But then, we'd have that situation every 2 years, everyone leaving at one time, and maybe future people aren't as awesome. So that was my thought with doing it, where maybe you sign up for a 2-year term, 2-year term, 2-year term. If you leave your term early, then maybe the person that comes in for you is only a year term until it comes up again, just so that everyone isn't leaving at the same time. That was kind of my thinking on it when I brought it up.
It's a good thought. And while that helps to change things for the future, so we don't end up with everybody leaving in the same year, I don't know that it addresses the issue of
nobody wants to do it.
Oh.
I wouldn't be opposed to helping out, but I would not want to jump in by myself without, nobody there.
No, I obviously.
Come on, Jackie, you can take my job.
This is on record now, right? I've said this out loud.
This is Angelina. I'm curious, is there anything in the bylaws for like extenuating circumstances such as this, like where you can delay the voting by a month or so as we navigate this?
Well, the only thing in the bylaws that currently says the election needs to happen in the last meeting of the calendar year, which is normally the last meeting of the school year.
The school year.
Now, we could just make another meeting in June or July, but I don't know, and this is just talking, I have no idea how any of this is going to go on, but we're already out through April 30th. If this goes out, and you've heard people talk about, okay, school is going to be done for e-learning for the rest of the year. And again, don't know that that's going to be the case, but if that is the case, people are currently not stepping up for it. I think people are going to be less likely to step up from it, even if they're further removed. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
certainly.
That's the tough part.
Yeah, that is. I wonder if there's like a loophole for like last meeting of the school year. It's like, well, what about during a pandemic time? We didn't really.
Here's the point: we can rewrite it however we need to. we can write a loophole in. We can do whatever we want as long as we have agreement within the group that we can say this is what we want to update the bylaws to, and then we just take it to a vote.
Okay.
So that's actually a very simple. I mean, it actually is very simple. It's updating a Word document. Once we get the language of what we want it to do, we can do that. I mean, I don't want to give up on the idea of elections and people stepping up. And, you know, to answer Jackie's question, you know, it is not my intention to walk away from this organization being that my term is up. My intentions all along were serve my 2-year term, and then my last year that I have a kid at Petty, which is next year, is to serve and help the current board, help them transition. You know, that was my goal through all of this, and not take a position and just help them transition, you know. But obviously, if nobody is stepping up, I don't want to walk away and leave this, you know, to nobody. No, I won't do that. You know, there's too much going on and too much at stake for that. So I don't know what the right solution is, and that's why I wanted to bring it up for discussion to see.
Is there anyone who is willing to be nominated for it with the, like, maybe, I don't know if this is possible, if Ray, you could be like a, you know, the vice president to kind of help the president next year or something like that? Or if someone is willing to step up and be nominated with the agreement that Ray would kind of help them, like, kind of, you know, off the grid, kind of co-help them, you know, as much as they needed help.
Yeah, I think the two positions that are vital are president and treasurer.
Yeah.
So those are the two. I mean, we've been operating without a secretary for the most of this year anyways, and it's been all right because one of the vice presidents has stepped up to do that. I can't speak for anyone else on what's going on there, and I'm not going to go and I mean, I would recommend anybody that's on this to do any of the positions because I believe in all the executive board, but at the same time, I'm not going to commit somebody else to it if they don't want to do it. But maybe it needs to come down to that. You know, I don't know. But even if I nominate someone else, I need to, you know, when someone gets nominated that's not themselves, they have to accept the nomination. And so I can go through and say, hey, you know, Melissa, you've been nominated for vice president. Do you want to take that or whatever? You know, I don't know. I have not had a discussion with the current board to see what their intentions are. And I can have those. We can have those offline if you want, and can do that. I just wanted to kind of pulse the group and say, these are scenarios. And then even beyond the scenario, what's our contingency plan if nobody comes? You know what I mean? The last couple of meetings we've had, other than this nice virtual one where we've got a couple extra people, it's been pretty much our executive board for the last 3 or 4 meetings. And Jackie was at one of our last ones too. So she's been around. Yeah. So she's guilty by association.
Is there a place that shows like kind of what the duties are in a nutshell? Because I don't know if I've actually seen that myself, and that might be, people might be more willing to be like, oh, I could do that if it's like just go to a meeting once a month and take notes, or you know what I mean. They might be more willing to be like, that's something I could do, like if we share that and promote that out on the, you know, like, did you know the secretary does this, or did you know the vice president does that, and maybe like pique some people's interest a little bit more that way.
A very simple infographic of what they are.
Yeah, I love that. Love that idea.
You know, I guess that Melissa deals with the money coming in and out, but what is there more to it than that? You know, you know what I'm saying?
That's not a bad idea. What if we do kind of a combination of things? I mean, things are kind of crazy right now. I do think that there's some benefit to having positions be off years from each other. And I think the only way to do that is to make something a 2-year term and then work with it if somebody backs out after a year. What if we push this all into the fall, get the school year started, and then even though fall is not a great time to switch over any leadership, then maybe that'll give us some time to say, okay, here's the new layout of when the positions are up, and maybe some of them go to end. I don't know, just some kind of combination of all of the above.
Yeah, we could totally do that. Like I said, if as long as we have agreement, we can rewrite the bylaws. We can move the elections to the fall. That's not a problem. I don't think with any of that. So that is something we could do. We could just say, we could even just write in a provision that due to external, in the case of extenuating circumstances where the last meetings of the year or whatever could happen in these kinds of situations, that the board can make the decision to move the meeting to the first meeting of the following year. That's fine too. Now back to Jackie's comments. When we first started this up, my PowerPoint that I gave to everybody when we first got our first board together had those definitions in there. And on our website, if you actually read the bylaws, it's in there. I don't expect anybody to go and read the bylaws and find all that, but I can pull that information out and we can easily post that information. Make it more visible again, is basically what I'm saying. So that's an easy one to do. And we can try that again here and see if we get any more nominations for the May one. In the meantime, maybe what we do is we work on a contingency plan with the bylaws and look at updating those to build in a contingency plan in case no one does nominate by this May 13th date, and then we can always push it off. Make the decision on May 13th to push it off to the following fall, or to the summer, or whatever date we decide is the right one to do.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a good plan to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just Christina here. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I would just wanted to, I plan on staying on the board. What position I would like to take is completely open. I just wanted to see, you know what I mean? I wanted to give other people an opportunity, to take a position that they choose, because I've done every position previously on PTO board. So, I can pretty much handle anything. I'm trying to let others step up before I, put my foot in and say, yeah, I can do this or I can do that. So at least I'm still here.
Okay. All right.
I just want to say I don't think we're going to get a lot of new interest right now of people stepping up right now who haven't been involved too much for positions. I think it's kind of unlikely. So I just want to throw that out there, that like if we're going to wait for other people to nominate people or nominate themselves, it might be a tricky time to do that.
Right in the pandemic clause to the bylaws.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also think it could go either way, because I think sometimes people, when they're away from something and they realize how important it is, they might change their tune a little bit and want to get more involved when it's actually there. Sometimes you take stuff like this for granted, like the homeschool connection, and now more than ever, I think it's needed. So maybe we'll have some new people step up. But, I don't want to rule that out. I'm kind of hopeful for that. So.
All right. So why don't we take this as this? I will dig up the descriptions of the positions. I'll pull together an email and we'll do some posts on Facebook, and we'll try to get that out there to people.
So wait, before you go any further on that, I think that the current, people who hold those positions should post about it, because then I think it'll be a little less intimidating coming from the person who has.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Sure. What we can do is I will send the executive board the list of responsibilities that are listed in the bylaws, and then you can use that, and then maybe
Sure.
each of you say, do a post on Facebook or whatever. I will do an email though that just kind of, here's the duties, and we'll kind of push on the nominations and see if we get any nominations again.
Yep.
We'll continue on with
And
that.
I think someone said this, but it's kind of a good slogan to kind of type it. Now more than ever, we need to support our schools and teachers and have that homeschool community connection is like a great post for that. And here's the positions. That's kind of, I think that might get a little bit more buy-in to like why we're doing this.
Good idea. Good idea. So we will continue on with that. Then in the meantime, I will also reach out to the executive board. I will look at the bylaws. I will see what I think is possible for there. I will draft an idea for a contingency plan to push the election off for that time. I will also look at trying to figure out a way to stagger the terms so that we are not left in this position, so that only, there's even in odd years or something like that for that, and look at different ways to do that. I will float that out to the executive board and get feedback on that. Once we've come to agreement on that, we will call to a vote and see if we can get that approved in there as well before our May meeting. Does that sound like a good plan for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So my last question
Yes.
before we move on from there is, if we are not back live at school on the May 13th meeting, which would be, hopefully we have nominations and ready to go, or we need to make the decision to push this past. I think we still need to have our May meeting. Is there an idea on how we would like to do that? Like, do we want to have it an online meeting like this and then people vote live? Or do we want to do it like through a Google form and have a voting period, like an absentee ballot type thing?
I think the second option.
The absentee ballot?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I think there's less room.
Yeah,
for
I think if we do an absentee ballot, that's fine. But I do think, Ray, when you had mentioned about, collecting information so that we're not, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a problem, but it would just be nice to know, who's, I guess, but then again, it's not anonymous. So never mind.
It's not, but
scratch
there would only be one person that would have that information. I mean, really, it would just be me or whoever sets that up. You know what I mean? So it's not like we're going to make that information available. It's really just to prevent repeat votes. So, and I can explain that in
but
the
in a
directions
sense,
I get.
I mean, yeah, but if we're not having anybody sign up to be on the board, are we going to really have people that are going to vote 20 times for one
True.
person?
That's true.
People have opinions. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
You're absolutely right, Catherine. You're absolutely right.
I mean, if people aren't concerned about that, that's fine. We can do it that way. I just, that was one thought I had thought about when I thought about doing the
That was a lot
Google
of thought.
forms. Yeah, there's a lot. I put a lot of thought into it. So, all right. Any other thoughts on the election before we move on?
Nope.
Okay. Moving on. Next topic: school spirit. So, obviously, as we've talked about, we did the Petty's Got Talent contest on Facebook, and we had a bunch of submissions. We had 11 winners for that. We had planned for 14, but we got 11. So that's all right. But it gave, the idea was to give people something to do, something to look forward, show off a little bit, connect with one another a little bit more. And I think it was a nice little thing to do. We also created that Petty Strong coloring sheet and got that out there. And I know I've seen some of those in some windows, and some people color them and post them on Facebook and whatnot. So that was a nice little thing out there. my question to the group is, are there any other thoughts or ideas to help keep that homeschool connection strong? Because now more than ever, when they're not at school, I feel like school spirit is an important thing that we try to continue to build. And so that's something I think we need to be looking at for the rest of the year. What else can we do to help foster that and keep that strong?
This is Angelina again. I totally agree with that. I was going to start just kind of looking around to see what other schools might be doing, like if there's anything else that might be spreading around like wildfire. I know a lot of people are doing those parades more and more. I love the coloring contest. I'm trying to rack my brain too to think of, like what else you can do virtually in a sense to keep that spirit going.
So, and
What
that's
about
not to say that stuff the school's been doing has been fantastic. The parade was amazing.
Yeah.
Even like the little heart video was awesome. I'm just trying to think, what are things that we as the boosters can do to help do more things like that, or if there's other ideas, other ways that we can reach out and make sure that connection stays strong.
What if I don't know if this was discussed, Angelina, maybe you guys thought about this. What if a student does the morning announcements and sends the video to you to post?
Oh, yes. So we have definitely talked about that. What our next phase is I've sent out a document to all of the staff to get them to sign up for morning announcements. So we already have about, I think, 4 or 5 teachers who have signed up for different days during the month of April to do that. But the students are also on our minds for it. So I'm thinking like the best way to do that would be to put something together for the teachers to send out to the kids specifically, to kind of get more interest like that. I feel like the teachers are in the trenches and they have fabulous pulse on their class and their kiddos. So like tomorrow, there's going to be a teacher that will do morning announcements and post that. So that is definitely on our mind as well. I mean, I may even be cool with parents doing it with their family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
That'd be fun.
So as the boosters, though, one thought that I had, and I don't know logistically how we can make this happen, but I thought about making a version of our Petty Strong shirt, maybe in a different color, and putting like the year 2020 on there, or 2019, 2020 on there, and maybe making up a t-shirt for each kid at the school and giving it away. So correct me if I'm wrong on my numbers here, Angelina, but there's roughly 500 kids at the school, little under that, right? 400 something. I think that's pretty accurate. And then if we even, wanted to include staff on there, that's maybe another extra 60 to 70. So just figure 600 shirts. And when we did those, we paid $5 a shirt for that. I don't know if we can get the same price on that, but maybe we could. That would put us in an investment of like $3,000.
Yeah, that's definitely a fun idea.
The tricky part about that is, one, getting everybody's size, and then 2, getting them out to everyone. That would be the part where we would need the most help in saying, hey, someone will take this group and, drop them in their mailbox or whatever it is, for these people, and take a list and just kind of drive around and throw them on the porch, a la old paperboy style or something. You know what I mean? If we got them together like that. That was one thought I had of something that would be kind of memory, because you talk about this with your kids and you say, well, hey, I know how inconvenient this would be, but man, this is going to be a story for the ages for you. You can say, when I was your age, I walked to school uphill both ways. Well, you know what? When I was at school, your age, I did e-learning and stayed in my house for 3 months. Whatever it is. I don't know.
Please don't say 3 months.
No, I know, but I had to exaggerate it. That's uphill both ways, right?
That's true.
Come up with some sort of like challenges for families to do together, because the Boosters is all about like bringing the families into the school together, even if it's something silly like chalk your walkway somehow and we all share pictures, or create a blank together as a family and share pictures, and kind of, even if maybe the teachers let it be an activity one of the days or something, somehow maybe a STEM challenge or something that everyone does, and like get the families to do it together and share, just to get, that family time together as well as the school spirit.
Like that.
Yeah.
Jackie, you're on a roll.
I know you guys.
What if we do like something where the kids can make a sign about something that they miss or something they want to say to somebody, and have, the parent take a picture of them holding the sign or whatever paper, whatever it is, and then, post the picture on Facebook, like, like I miss my teacher, or I miss my friend Julie, like something like that, and then others can see, and it kind of touches different, people virtually.
That's really cute.
Just a thought.
That might make me cry though.
creating those posters and like titling them like Petty Strong, and then draw something of what you miss, and then everyone put them in their windows, and then we could even, how they have all those, people's like singing outside their windows at like 6 p.m. We could say, everyone put your posters up by 6 p.m. and then, like everyone could sing, like we could make a little Petty ditty, like to the Cubs thing, something like everyone could sing, go Petty go, Petty's gonna stay strong today, something like that. Or just putting the posters in the windows, so like you could go on a Petty Strong hunt, who could find the most posters, stuff like that. I'm just throwing out random ideas that just floated in my head.
Yeah, I like the Petty Strong hunt. That sounds fun. Yeah.
Are there any
I'm just writing all this down, sorry.
Yeah.
Are there any like end of the year activities that Petty is known to do? Because this is my first year at Petty, that we could somehow recreate somehow.
Field day?
Yeah.
Field day.
Yeah, field day.
Field day with your family. Get out the sponges.
I was gonna say, so field day, fifth grade picnic.
Whoever wins the Petty Strong scavenger hunt can get a video of Miss Garrettson getting a pie to the face or something. Because they had the dunk tank last year where they dunked teachers, like, and the kids loved stuff like that. Like, I was just kind of thinking.
So, what if? Because
we could do pie face challenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
No Tide Pods though.
Well, even the fifth grade picnic, everyone could go outside and, have a picnic on your lawn and, help the fifth graders celebrate. That's kind of what I was, if we get that far.
Yeah.
The other thing I saw, I think 117 is doing this for seniors, is they're putting yard signs in all the seniors' yards.
Aww.
To kind of do something special for them since they're missing out on stuff. I don't know. That's something we could look into, I guess. Those aren't necessarily very cheap. I don't know that those are cheaper than a
They're
t-shirt,
not.
to be honest.
No, they're not.
But even a sign for someone's door, you know, like decorate a sign for your neighbors, the fifth grade neighbor or whatever, and put it on their door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we do virtual bingo, like as a fun activity for kids? Like how what's his name did it with this with the nursing home? Did you guys
Reading the
see
numbers
that?
off.
You know who I'm talking about?
McConaughey, yeah.
Yeah, how he was,
Yeah, fun.
you know, doing it with his family. I thought, you know, it could be just a virtual thing that, you know, kids can do. You know, we can run it as a, you know, as a boosters, and then, you know, print out, maybe create bingo cards and just have people. Obviously, you know, nobody would actually win anything because obviously it's be a little tough to determine, you know, or to figure that aspect out. But, you know, the parents can print off the card or just do it off the phone or however it is. And then, you know, we could just kind of have, you know, a couple of us or one of the booster members, you know, read off the numbers, or even the booster members' kids, you know, like it just kind of, it's a little fun activity, you know, that other kids could get, you know, involved in and doing, aside from, you know, something out of the norm.
Yeah. We could also ask for volunteer bingo readers, like mystery ones or whatever, and maybe, you know, if somebody's got some extra time, maybe it's Mr. Amster on Wednesday that's doing it or something like that. I don't know. I'm not trying to commit anybody else because I know people are at their limits with that, but we could open that up if anybody wanted to volunteer for it, because that might be something that's kind of fun too, you know. I know a lot of the teachers are. Go ahead.
I was going to say, or we could Twitter Matthew McConaughey and see if he'll do it.
All
We
right,
can
all
also
right.
just, I mean, you could also just come up with a word bank, and people could write their own words all over whatever by whatever square in case people don't have printers, and then they could still participate that way too. And you know, you could just have words like
Oh, that's true.
bobcat, petty, strong, you know, spirit, I don't know, whatever. Come up with more words than squares so everyone's board is slightly different, and then they could play.
I mean, bingo
Oh, that's a
cards
good
are
idea.
like are crazy cheap. Like Amazon has 500 sheets for $6. So if we planned it out a little bit, I mean, I'm sure we could deliver bingo cards to people. They're super cheap.
You got it, Melissa.
Some bingo cards. I'm gonna do that in all my free time.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if we. See, that's the hard part. Is you don't. People are discouraged from touching things. I'm like, I wonder if we could just put them out, like a stack out at Jewel or something, where they could just pick them up or something. If we said we were going to do that,
no, that's not
but
gonna
I don't think that'll fly either.
I know.
No, it would have to be
Or,
like
I mean,
emailed.
I've seen,
Yeah.
and I've seen other districts that have bins out for teachers that the students put their homework in the bins, and the, you know,
Oh,
and the
wow.
teachers collect the homework from those bins. I know there's a district nearby. I think I can't even think. It's a couple towns. It's like 2 towns over. I can't think of it. My one friend works
Waukegan?
there, and that they have no. I want to say Spring Grove, like Spring Grove, Richmond, like that area over there. I'm trying to think. I can't even. Because my one friend teaches there, and they have bins outside the front of the building, like for students to drop off like homework.
Wow.
So I mean, that's something that if we wanted to do the bingo cards, we could just leave them, you know what I mean, out at the door of the building. I mean, but then again, you know, there's that. Do people want to be touching that other people touched?
I wonder if we, you know how they've got those things like for, like if you're selling your house and they've got a thing where the piece of paper slips in on the side of like the for sale sign.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if we got a couple of those and just put them strategically at some places and told people where they're at if they could go get their own.
Another idea might be the school lunches. Just throw a bingo card in the school lunches.
Yeah, but that's for all schools though, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a way to tell
Yeah.
if they're petty
Yeah,
or not or
that's
whatever.
true.
I mean,
That's
which
true.
isn't necessarily a
So
horrible
I
thing,
just,
but the goal of our stuff is to spend our resources on petty kids. So
yeah.
I don't
So
know.
I had a random thought, but then I realized, sorry, go ahead.
I would say, regardless, we'll save bingo night for something for next year because I think that would be fun. But I think the idea of using the different words and stuff, we could do that too, and everybody can just make their own, print their own, and keep it easy.
You just do it on a regular sheet of paper and draw your
Yeah.
own thing. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
I
kind
like
of
the
like how
bingo night
Jackie had
thing.
said it,
That could be
where we just,
something fun.
where we just have where we just do a word bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Let's look at doing the bingo thing and see how that works. Angelina, I'll put this though on you. If there is anything else that the school feels like it needs to help keep this going, or if they have any ideas that need support, please come to us and ask us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when Joanna and I meet and we talk about some of these things, and even just staff members coming and sharing ideas, it's trying to, see it from everyone's perspective. Well, what if a family doesn't have a printer? Or what if they're not getting, like they've maxed out on their internet, or their, data plans, or this and that and the other thing. So it is definitely, like, as you guys were just talking about stuff, it's very challenging, right? But you do your best to try to meet as many families with the ideas as possible.
That's all we can
yeah.
do. Yeah, that's all we can do is do what we can to do some stuff. And if people can participate, great. If they can't, I'm sorry. We'll hopefully get them for the next time or whatever. But maybe if we have multiple things like this, we've got some options. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And just trying a variety of things, that's how we'll figure out, or not even figure out, but just be able to give as many people school spirit as best as possible. So yeah, I agree. But yeah, we will keep that in mind and reach out to you if we have any more ideas as well.
Just one thing that popped into my head is all these kids that are having birthdays and they're always with their friends at school and now they don't and they're totally bummed by it. Could we do some sort of like virtual birthday party for all the April birthdays or something? Like, I don't know how many kids that would be your staff members, but something like, just hey, we're all thinking about you. Happy birthday, yay, we missed you. I don't know.
Maybe we can send them a card.
Just something to think about because I know some kids might be really, bummed they're not with their friends. I'm just trying to think of like what the kids might be going through right now.
Well, Angelina, is the school still sending out the cards for birthdays?
Oh yeah, you better believe I go in there every week, and then at the beginning of the week, I'll send out all of them for that week of April. And so I could definitely tell you how many students we have for April birthdays, but I think it would be fun, like if there was some kind of a, like a Facebook live celebration or something. Like, I don't even know what you would do or how it would look, but so we announce their names on the announcement and we send them the card. I think that's all we have right now for it. Normally the kids get like a pencil and an eraser, little kind of a fun thing. But we didn't do that for the month of March for those birthdays because I think we were just trying to wait and see what was going to happen at the time. And we haven't sent them out either for April yet because then you're like, well, then that wasn't fair for the kids in March that got a card but not their trinkets. And then you're looking at mailing costs. And so everyone is definitely getting their birthday cards. That's for sure. That is not stopping.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta think
Yeah,
about
so
that.
any other ideas for that? I mean, it would be fun to go to like each house and put like a balloon, like for that child's birthday. That would be fun.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really good idea.
But the tough part on that one is
Getting the balloon.
getting their addresses.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, even if we ordered, balloons, that's not the end of the world. We don't have to helium them. We can just fill them with air.
Yeah, or even a sign, that goes out on their front yard or something. But then we would have to ask for parent permission. Obviously, I have access to, addresses to put that out there.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'd have to get permission before we just do it.
We just can't do anything too fun because my daughter, who just had a birthday, will find out and she'll be so sad. If it's too exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we can be retroactive too. I mean.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kind of like the summer birthdays, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
But she loved getting that card in the mail. That made her day, was that card.
Oh, good deal. That warms my heart. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we got one more topic here. So if you have ideas on the spirit stuff, reach out to me. Let me know. I'll share it with the group, and we'll figure out something with that. The next
Wait, I
topic
just
we
had
have.
an idea. Hold on. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I just had an idea. What if the what's his name? The mascot goes and says hello for somebody's birthday.
Oh, that's
that would definitely be a fun idea.
Instead of a balloon, and obviously it doesn't have to be the same person in the mascot. Like, maybe we can get some volunteers. But then that's maybe not what we want to do because of the virus.
Spreading the facial thing around. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably got to be the same person. But it be something fun to do. Like, at least then, the parent is aware and they can just wave from the door, and drive by, kind of like a drive by, birthday wave.
Yeah, there's lots of drive-bys happening lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know, right? It's so terrible. But no, that's a great idea. Like if we'll have to see if we get like a consistent person to be the mascot, because the other part of that is worrying about how many different people are putting the the outfit on. But I mean, I think it's a great idea if we can pull that off where the mascot even just has a happy birthday sign, pulls up, gets out of the car, the parents are aware of it, and then it's like, all right, on to the next one. Or
that could be neat for the fifth graders too, if we don't go back.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Have the mascot stop by.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fun if we could even do another parade. Like if we don't go back for the fifth graders, where we make sure to go by each of the fifth graders. I don't know how that would logistically work, but that's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. That parade was just fantastic.
Yeah.
So, all right. Moving on to staff appreciation. I'm going to stop the recording at this point. So everything here is off the record.